Today is very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Srila Lokanath Goswami. Our Gurudev wrote biography, so I will read that. Lokanathakya Goswami Sri Lila Manjari Pura. Lokanath Goswami was known as Lila Manjari in Krishna Lila, Gaur Ganadesh Deepika. Lokanath Goswami is considered to be Mahaprabhu's direct disciple and associate. Prior to coming to Navadip, he lived in the village of Talkori in the Jessore district of present-day Bangladesh. Prior to that, he resided in Kanchanapara. His father's name was Padmanabha Chakravarti and his mother was Sita Devi. This is confirmed by the Bhakti Ratnakar. Shrimat Radha Binodaika Seva Sampat Samanvitam Padmanabha Atmajam Shrimal Lokanatha Prabhum Bhaje. I worship Lokanath Prabhu, the son of Padmanabha, whose life revolved around the wealth of service of his deity Radha Binod. Bhakti Ratnakar. The descendants of Lokanath Goswami's brother Pragalbha Bhattacharya are still living in Talkori. Bhugarbha Goswami was Lokanath Goswami's closest friend and constant companion. He was Prema Manjari of Braja. In Gaur Ganadesh Deepika, Bhugarbha Thakurasyasit Purvakya Prema Manjari. According to the Sadhana Deepika, Bhugarbha Goswami was Lokanath Goswami's paternal uncle. The Shakha Nirnayamrita adds the following comments on Bhugarbha Goswami. Goswaminam cha Bhugarbham Bhugarbhotham Suvishrutam Sada Mahashayam Bande Krishna Prema Pradam Prabhum. Srila Govinda Devasya Seva Sukha Vilasinam Doyalum Premadam Swacham Nityam Ananda Vigraham. I offer my reverence to the illustrious Bhugarbha Prabhu, who was said to be born from the bowels of the earth. He bestows love of Krishna. He takes pleasure in the service of Govinda Dev, is compassionate, simple, and always joyful. Bhugarbha Goswami's initiating guru was Gadadhar Pandit Goswami. He is therefore considered to be Gadadhar's branch of the Chaitanya tree. Sri Bhagavad Das, a fellow disciple of Srila Gadadhar Pandit Goswami, was his close friend. Bhugarbha Goswami and Bhagavad Das are branches of Gadadhar Pandit. Both of them went to live in Vrindavan, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lokanath Goswami renounced the householder ashram in 1510 and came to meet Mahaprabhu in Navadip. Mahaprabhu immediately told him to go and live in Vrindavan, telling him that it was his own intention to take sannyas very shortly and go there himself. Lokanath Goswami started to cry when he imagined the Lord with his beautiful curly hair shorn and the distress the devotees would feel at his sannyas. When the Lord saw Lokanath Goswami's anxiety, he embraced him and consoled him with his mystical words, and Lokanath Goswami surrendered completely to him. When Bhugarbha Goswami saw how unhappy Lokanath Goswami was, he decided to accompany him to Vrindavan. When our Parangurudev announced that he will give sannyas to our Gurudev and also to two others, then they all became afraid. And they were discussing among themselves, and Gurudev said, I will tell to Gurudev that I will not take sannyas. Even brahmachari ashram, I cannot say I am following perfectly. Then how I can go to take sannyas? Then he came to Parangurudev and bowed down and everything, and before he could speak, already Parangurudev said, "You will take sannyas?" Then Gurudev said, I could not say anything else, but just yes came out from me. From the core of my heart came yes. Because mystical words, like here Mahaprabhu, he consoled him with his mystical words, and Lokanath Goswami surrendered completely to him. Gurudev said, I could not do anything. Just I came to tell him I will not take, but he asked me, then I just said yes. Then Parangurudev was happy and the sannyas was given. So mystical words, we have to be careful to when associating with sadhus. The two companions walked through Rajmahal, Tajpur, means Bhugarba, and Lokanath, Purnia, Ayodhya, Lucknow, and many holy places before finally arriving in Braja. Though he had come to Vrindavan on Mahaprabhu's order, Lokanath Goswami constantly felt intense separation from the Lord and shed copious tears in his desire to see him again. When he received the news that Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas and gone to Puri and from there to the south on pilgrimage, Lokanath Goswami hurried to southern India in order to join him. When he arrived in the south, he heard that Mahaprabhu was no longer there, but had gone to Vrindavan. Lokanath Goswami immediately set off for Vrindavan, hoping to see the Lord there. But by the time he arrived, he heard that the Lord had gone to Prayag. Disappointed, he still determined to see the Lord. Lokanath Goswami decided to set off again for Prayag. This time, however, Mahaprabhu appeared to Lokanath Goswami and in a dream, and told him to stop moving about and remain in Vrindavan to perform his bhajan. Not long afterwards, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and other of the Lord's associates started coming to live in Braja. Their association brought Lokanath Goswami immense joy. So sometimes Guru or Supreme Lord, they can give guidance in dream also. When Rupa Goswami was getting old, he found it difficult to walk all the way to Govardhan to take darshan of Gopal. Seeing his intense desire, Gopal came to stay at the house of Vittaleshwar in Mathura, ostensibly out of fear of Muslim iconoclasts, but actually to show his mercy to Rupa Goswami. Muslims, they were destroying the deities because they consider it sinful to do like idol worship something, then God would be envious, but they don't understand that Sanatana Dharma does not prescribe idol worship, to worship something material which is not God. Never. That is idol worship. Mahaprabhu never prescribed that. But deity form, that is revealed, Supreme Lord is revealed himself or through his pure devotee in such a form to give scope to us to serve him. So they, because they don't understand this fact, they mistake one for another. But sometimes Krishna plays such pastime also as a deity to disappear in such a way. Like Krishna was killed by hunter and he disappeared. So that is his lila of disappearing. So as a deity, he is also disappearing. The deity stayed there for a month, during which time Rupa Goswami came for his darshan with Lokanath Goswami and other Gauriya Vaishnavas. How Gauriya Vaishnavas? There was no Gauriya Mat at that time. Because Gauriya Vaishnava does not mean members of Gauriya Mat. Gauriya Vaishnavas are all followers of Mahaprabhu. Whichever Guru Parampara coming from Mahaprabhu, they are all Gauriya Vaishnavas. But some devotees, they think Gauriya Vaishnavas means those who are members of Gauriya Mat. They are also Gauriya Vaishnavas, but not only that. So, to make it more clear. Because Gaura means Bengal. So, Mahaprabhu appeared there, and that Vaishnavism which spread or is like from Bengal, that is Gauriya, called Gauriya. The extent to which Bhugarbha Goswami was there to Lokanath Goswami is described in Bhakti Ratnakara. Lokanath Goswami's affection for Bhugarbha Goswami was well known everywhere. They only had different bodies, in spirit they were one. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was extremely compassionate. Bhugarbha Goswami and Lokanath Goswami are a gold mine of virtues. This is all from Bhakti Ratnakara. Lokanath Goswami worshipped Radha and Krishna in deep separation and with extreme renunciation. He was afraid that renunciation is not artificial and with effort like this. It is they are so much absorbed in the service of Radha Krishna, they have no time and no desire for anything else, even for eating, sleeping, all this there. So naturally. Otherwise, for devotees to do some artificial renunciation, that is not recommended. Because you will not get anything from that. The point is, you have to do Shravan Kirtan, and if necessary, Archan, and like these services. And for that, to facilitate that, it is better to have regulated life, like Krishna says, not eating too much, not too less, and like this, so that we can do that service. This is the main point. And if one, so to keep one's body fit and everything, that so that one can do these services. But when one will feel that transcendental separation, grief naturally, and then automatically all these things will reduce, and in such a way that it will not make any obstacle to one's bhajan. But outwardly, if someone thinks, I will fast so much, I will not sleep so much, I will all this is not directly any kind of devotion. Devotion is to think of Krishna by hearing about him, speaking about him, serving him, taking his prasad and taking rest for him, everything. So this is in higher stages like Raghunath Das Goswami and they who already have so much absorption in Krishna that this comes naturally. But one will not become like more devotee if he will do some physical austerities. Mahaprabhu also showed when that brahmachari came wanted to see Mahaprabhu's dancing, and Srivas let him in, but Mahaprabhu told him, this is nothing, this physical something austerities. You cannot get Krishna by that. You can get Krishna by surrendering to him. Then that brahmachari accepted and Mahaprabhu allowed. Or like Prabhupada, he told to our Parangurudev, you will have to travel for that preaching service. So on Janmashtami he told him to take rice, because if Guru orders, that will not break the vow, and Guru will see whether it is necessary or something for some higher purpose. So it is there. He did not tell him you go on like this. So under the guidance of Guru we have to practice, not to make any own whimsical austerities and these things. And sometimes also punishments. We try to give some punishment to ourselves, but according to our own whims. When Guru will give some punishment, if necessary, that is okay. But we should not some whimsical according to our own idea, and that will be maybe more destructive even for our bhajan. So in Krishna in deep separation and with extreme renunciation, due to that separation, how much separation I feel from Krishna? Nothing. Because no relation is there. So how I can, why I will have some extreme renunciation? And it is not necessary. Everything should facilitate Shravan Kirtan. He was afraid of the slightest amount of fame. Thus he forbade Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami to write anything about him in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the result that nothing was written about him there other than his name. Sanatana Goswami also mentioned his name in the Mangala Charana to the Hari Bhakti Vilas, as well as in his Vaishnav Toshani commentary to the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brindavana Priyan Bande Shri Govinda Padashritan Srimad Kashishwaram Lokanatham Shri Krishna Dasakam. I pay obeisance to Kashishwar Pandit, Lokanath Goswami and Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, who have taken shelter of Lord Govinda's lotus feet, and to whom residence in Vrindavan is very dear. So Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he told brahmacharis should be well fed so that they can do service. That is the point. And have enough rest, and then they can do service. Service is point. And according to one's level, one has to practice. Not to practice something for which one is not yet having so much devotion to Krishna. Like Goswamis, they are fully devoted to Krishna and they are outward that bhajan is like this. So I'm not having such devotion to Krishna, but I will try to do as they are doing externally. How it will work? It can never work. There are steps to reach there. Under the guidance of Guru, gradually one can reach. Lokanath Goswami constantly traveled throughout Braja, ecstatically visiting the various holy places where Krishna had engaged in his pastimes. Once he went to Kadiravan, then he visited Kishori Kunda near the village of Umarao by Chatravan. He stayed there for some time to do his bhajan in isolation. He developed a deep desire to worship Radha and Krishna in their deity forum. We go there during Brajamandal Parikrama. One nice pond or lake is there. The Lord knows the desires of his devotees and feels himself obliged to fulfill them. He came personally to give Lokanath Goswami a deity, telling him before disappearing that its name was Radha Govinda. Here I would say his name, not its, because deity is like it. But we are not saying it God, he God. But because deity is like it, but also for deity it would be better to say he. But English language is such, but they are persons. So here we see self Many means Krishna himself brought himself in the form of deity. Deity is always Krishna has to make that arrangement. He appears by his own will or by the will of his pure devotee, then that will be deity, that will be Krishna. Lokanath Goswami was astonished at seeing the appearance of the deity and started to wonder who gave him the deity. Radha Binod cast his sweet glance on Lokanath Goswami and said to him, I have been living in this village of Umarao on the banks of Kishori Kund. I saw your eagerness to serve me, and so I came here on my own. Who else but me could have brought me to you? I am very hungry. Quickly prepare something for me to eat. When Lokanath Goswami heard these words, tears began to flow from his eyes. He quickly started cooking for Radha Binod and then made an offering that the deity ate with great satisfaction. Lokanath Goswami then made Radha Binod a bed of flowers, upon which he placed him, fanned him with branches, and joyfully massaged his feet. Lokanath Goswami devoted himself to Radha Binod in body, mind, and soul. Lokanath Goswami wondered where he would keep his deity, as he was constantly wandering through the land of Braja. Finally, he decided to make a large bag, which he made into Radha Binod's temple. Wearing the bag around his neck, he was able to keep his worshipable deity close to his heart like a necklace. When they saw the affectionate relationship between Lokanath Goswami and his Lord, the people of Braja were attracted to him and asked if they could build a house for him and Radha Binod. But Lokanath Goswami refused. His spirit of renunciation was so strong that he declined to accept anything but what he absolutely needed for the deity's service. So what one absolutely needs for his devotion, that has to be accepted. It is one of the limbs of devotion, number 8 out of 64 limbs of devotion you will find there. One should not accept too less, not too much. These material things, all material things, money, cloth, sleep, food, all this, not too much, not too less, but to need it for his service of Krishna, according to his present condition. So it is individual, it is not same for all. After spending some time because otherwise we can say Goswamis, they slept 1.5 hours. So sometimes they did not even sleep that much because they were so absorbed in chanting. So can we do this? They can do, because their devotion is so high, but we cannot do this. So how much we need for the service, that much we should accept, not too less, not too much. After spending some time at Kishori Kunda, Lokanath Goswami came to Vrindavan. He learned that Rupa and Sanatan Goswami had ended their pastimes in this world and lamented their departure in great sadness. At around this time, Narottam Thakur, who was the son of Raja Krishnananda Datta of Gopalpur in Rajshahi, now in Bangladesh, came to Vrindavan and met him there. Many years earlier, Nityananda Prabhu cried in divine ecstasy on his way to Nilachal. Mahaprabhu stored this divine love with the Padmavati river for Narottam Thakur's benefit. Since then, the place has come to be known as Prematali. Years later, when Narottam Thakur took his bath in the river at Prematali, he was immediately overcome with prema and was inspired to cut off all family ties and go to Vrindavan. Upon his arrival, so in some cases it happens like this, when one will get that high devotion, he will leave the family. But in some cases, like in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur or some other Mahaprabhu associates, when they got prema, of course Bhaktivinoda Thakur playing the pastimes of getting, they did not cut their family, but their vision totally changed. They did not physically depart from the house, but the vision changed. You will find in Sharanagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw, he said, after I surrendered to Krishna, Atmanirvana, then I saw that all family members, they belong to Krishna. This house belongs to Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna, and I am only maintaining Krishna's servants and Krishna's house and serving him. So vision may change. Means vision will change. Upon his arrival in Braja, Narottam Thakur received the grace of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and Lokanath Goswami. Rupa Sanatana already disappeared. He dreamt them on the way, or they appeared to him, to Narottam, on the way. So how we can understand when he arrived in Braja, he received the grace of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami at their samadhis. They were there present there. So when he arrived, then the samadhi, there you will get the grace of Gurudev, Vaishnavas. He received Lokanath Goswami's special mercy, for he became his one and only disciple. Lokanath Goswami was extremely renounced and had made a vow not to accept any disciples. But Narottam Das also made a vow to take initiation from no one other than Lokanath Goswami. Narottam Thakur repeatedly asked Lokanath Goswami to give him initiation, but Lokanath Goswami was firm in his refusal. In order to win his favor, Narottam Thakur went in the middle of the night to clean the area he used as a toilet. Lokanath Goswami was so surprised to see that the place was being kept clean and free from the bad odor that he became curious to find out who was doing this service. One night he went and hid there in some bushes, chanting japa the entire night. At midnight, Lokanath Goswami saw someone come and begin cleaning the place. When he saw who it was, Lokanath Goswami was astonished that Narottam Thakur, the son of a king, was engaged in doing such a filthy task. He felt embarrassed and asked him what his purpose was in doing it. Narottam Thakur immediately began to cry. He fell at Lokanath Goswami's feet and said, "My life is useless unless I obtain your mercy." When Lokanath Goswami saw Narottam Thakur's humility and pain, his resolve to never give anyone initiation softened, and he imparted mantras to him. So here we see Lokanath Goswami showed by his own example that one should not try to make disciples and as much as possible. Taking disciples is a service of Krishna to show jivas the path, how to worship Krishna, to satisfy Krishna. So those who get this service, they will do this service for Krishna. It is not about preaching and trying to collect as much as possible followers and as much as possible money and name and fame and all this. A real devotee has no any such desire. His desire is only to serve Krishna, always. Only when Krishna engages someone for this type of service, they will do. Otherwise, they have no desire. And also one cannot judge Vaishnava by the number of disciples one has. Some are thinking, oh, he has 40,000 disciples, so he must be. But that is not the criterion. Some Vaishnavas, they have no disciples, but they are pure devotees. They are fully satisfying Krishna by their service. If I try to judge, oh, he's useless. No disciples, no temples, no. They are doing service according to Krishna's desire. And if someone is ordered to preach, like Narottam Thakur, he made so many disciples, but that is all for the service of Krishna, not for any other purpose. So he was not like Narottam Thakur said, I want to take, yes, you come, yes. We are trying to grab. But he was not interested in this. But Narottam Thakur, he got that devotion, so he was not considering himself, I am a son of a king, living comfortable life. He saw, he is my Gurudev. I have to serve him with all my senses and everything. Everything in relation to Gurudev is pure. So he did not think this is some filthy task or something. No, this is my service to my Gurudev. Krishna will be pleased. So that is transcendental service. It has nothing to do with this worldly high and low something. So when Lokanath Goswami saw he's really serious, then he also changed his decision. This is a perfect example of how one can win over the worshipable deity through honest and selfless service. Narottam Das took initiation from Lokanath Goswami on the full moon day of the month of Shravan. Since then, Narottam Thakur was engaged in selfless and sincere service to Lokanath Goswami. However, for the benefit of the world and especially to the people of northern Bengal, Lokanath Goswami sent Narottam Thakur for preaching there. So Lokanath Goswami had only one disciple, but Narottam Thakur had so many. Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj had only one disciple, but Prabhupada had many. So who is superior? It is not like this. All are doing their service. Cannot judge by this. And that Vaishnava opened so many temples, and Lokanath Goswami did not open any temple. He kept his deity in his bag, and he did not order the biggest. Our Gurudev used to say, we are trying to make a big temple, and bigger than that one, and a gate, and we will order the biggest chamara and biggest fan. So big fan for Arati that Pujari will fall down due to weight of that fan or chamara. So big, because we want to show how big we are. But Lokanath Goswami, he was with leaves, he was fanning them with affection, with love, and they are fully satisfied. So you may think Lokanath Goswami, even one temple he could not open. What kind of Vaishnava is this? This is wrong, totally wrong judgment. Totally wrong. Devotee can recognize devotee who is serving, in what way. And Krishna also will reveal. One time, some devotees, they were asking Gurudev that, is it true that if someone will take initiation there, that is like not highest, but he has to go there for highest and like this? Then Gurudev said, Supreme Lord will decide who is a real sadhu. He will decide. We cannot judge like this by some thinking. And Gurudev said, this is beyond my jurisdiction. Supreme Lord will decide who is sadhu. And it is always also true, if someone is sincere for the service of Krishna, then Krishna will make arrangement for him that he will get proper guidance. Even if other people will try to deceive, like our Parangurudev, they try to deceive, but because he is sincere, he could see through that and was guided properly like this. Always, it depends on us, not others. Our sincerity. So here we see Narottam Thakur was sincere. Prabhupada was also sincere. Golkishore Das Babaji, Maharaj refused him. And Gurudev said we would feel insulted. Oh, you will not take me? There are so many gurus. I can go to any other guru. We would feel like that. But they showed by their pastime that sincere disciple will really crave for the service of bona fide guru, and bona fide guru may test also. And Prabhupada told, so many so-called Vaishnavas, they were trying to get me as their disciple, to get some benefit from me, because I was learned and moral character and everything. They were very eager that I should become their disciple. It would improve their. But I was shocked. Gorkishore Das Babaji totally dismissed me, like if I am some insignificant nothing. What? So that is the real thing. Devotion is something different than these worldly things. Lokanath Goswami was a much renounced Vaishnava, but he saw in Narottam Thakur someone who not only had a cultured background, but an enthusiasm and taste for dealing with people. So according to one's nature also, and that nature is given by Krishna, and service is given by Krishna. As a result, he asked him to go back to his homeland to preach Krishna consciousness. When one has taken full shelter of the Supreme Lord and is situated on the transcendental platform in full service to the Lord, then he has no enthusiasm for engaging in activities for the welfare of people on the bodily platform. When a devotee of Narottam Das's caliber goes against this principle, then such activities themselves are honored and they increase in prestige. When Guru orders someone to preach out of compassion for the jivas, then that will be considered as a service of Krishna. Otherwise, those who are Uttamadhikaris, they are only serving Krishna and they see others serving. How they will preach? They will not preach. But when they are older, they will do that for the service of Krishna, not for any other purpose. So Narottam Thakur returned to northern Bengal on the order of his spiritual master and began to preach pure devotional service and thus delivered the people of his homeland. Guru may send you to your homeland to preach. He may send you to foreign land to preach. Everything depends how the service comes from above, then that you have to do. In his collection of songs known as Prarthana, Narottam Das Thakur has written, Anek dukher pore, loye chile brajapure, kripa dore golai bandiya, deva maya balatkare, khasaiya seidore, bhava kupe kile dariya. After suffering much sadness, O Lord, you brought me to Braja, pulling me by the rope of mercy which you had tied around my neck. Maya and fate forced me back into the well of material existence by cutting loose that rope of mercy. That is in humbleness and in separation grief, he is saying like that. Lokanath Goswami left this world somewhere around 1589 AD on the 8th day of the dark moon in the month of Ashar. His Samadhi tomb is found in the Radha Gokulananda temple in Vrindavan. His beloved Radha Binoditi continues to be served in the same temple. So today is Srila Lokanath Goswami's Disappearance Day. I am remembering his Samadhi Mandir in Radha Gokulananda temple. Before you enter there, for going to Radha Gokulananda, then there in front of you will be his Samadhi, then you have to go right to come to the temple. Right, some passage, and then again right there will be deities. So his deities are there, Radha Binod. They self appear. So I'm remembering his Samadhi Mandir, going down to him and praying for his causeless mercy to forgive all offenses which I may have done knowingly or unknowingly, and I pray for his grace to bestow service of his lotus feet and the lotus feet of his object of worship, Radha Binod. They are real Vaishnavas. Kanaka Kamini Pratishta Bhagini. Chari Ache Jare Seito Vaishnav. Sei Anasakta, Sei Shuddha Bhakta, Sangsar Tathai Pai Parabhav. Prabhupada wrote that song. One who could give up desire for money, sex enjoyment, and name and fame. How he could give up? By getting real taste or higher taste of service of Krishna. Then naturally he can give up all these desires. He is a Vaishnava. He is a Shuddha Bhakta, pure devotee, and he conquered this Mayic existence. How? By surrendering himself to Krishna. Those who are fully surrendered and fully engaged in the service of Krishna, they are fully out of Maya. They have no any attraction for this, as we saw in Haridas Thakur's case. Maya personified came to offer him all enjoyment, but he refused because he was having taste of serving Supreme Lord. But not all are on that stage. There are many stages of devotion. That is why Krishna, knowing this fully well, he said that Kipram Bhavati Dharmatma, quickly, by doing this devotional practice, quickly he can become purified, and Also he said that if someone awakened faith in me and is hearing Harikatha, and he understands and believes that all this sense gratification is not good, but still he is unable to give up, means fully give up, he should not stop worshipping me. He should worship me with great faith and enthusiasm, go on worshipping, and he should accept that sense enjoyment not with adoration, but with disinterest, with condemnation. It is wrong, it is bad. Naturally he will understand like this. So gradually it will come that we can come to that platform by sincerely doing bhajan under the guidance of bona fide guru. So yesterday by mistake that video was deleted. So tomorrow I will again start from where I started yesterday, this 13th chapter. Again I will start and we'll see how far we will come, because that videos are there and it is consecutively. So there should be nothing missing. And we may think, no, already we heard. So why, again, the thing is, you have to remember that South Indian Brahmin, he was reciting Bhagavad Gita every day. Not only some verses of one chapter. Why we have to hear again? He was reciting whole Bhagavad Gita every day, all verses, before eating or drinking anything. His guru ordered him, this Bhagavad Gita is not ordinary sound. It was spoken by Krishna. It is not different from Krishna. And that Brahmin even could not understand the meaning. But because he surrendered to his Gurudev and to Krishna, everything was revealed in his heart. And he was getting transcendental bliss. All the time fresh, new taste. Getting that bliss. And Krishna himself came to him in the form of Mahaprabhu to hear his Bhagavad Gita, became attracted. And Mahaprabhu, when he said, why you are crying? Because I see Krishna, he's driving the chariot of Arjuna, his devotee. Then that Brahmin said, I think you are that Krishna, because I'm getting transcendental bliss by serving Krishna, but now in your association I'm getting double transcendental bliss. So I think you must be Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu showed him, he revealed himself. Yes, I am that Krishna who is driving Arjuna. I am that. I came to you. So devotion is important. We have to submit, practice sincerely, then we can get the result. So tomorrow we'll hear again. There is no harm in hearing again. There is a great benefit in hearing if we do with devotion.